My name is Jane Scarf, and I'm coming to you from Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. And what I want to talk to you today about is the kettle of fish that we find ourselves in. Typically in Canada, I've spoken about this before. I put a previous email out, so I just want to kind of update it and relate it to what's going on now with the vaccine passports. But primarily, you're being confronted with a decision whether you're going to be in with the globalists slash communists or out. No middle. You can't just kind of hide and just kind of, sort of pretend you're kind of supporting them, but not really doing anything really hardcore. And not being really clear about any opposition because you don't want to get in conflict, you don't want to get consequences, and so on. So you just kind of, scoot around in the middle. Well, that middle's gone now. And clearly, each and every one of us is being put to the test. Are you in or are you out? So being in means loss of privacy, loss of informed consent, freedom of speech, assembly, association, religion, and press. All of them. And when we choose to go in that direction, we voluntarily step away from those rights. And once we're in there, it means they own us. Get vaxxed again and again and again, and don't make waves, don't speak out. We'll take your license, we'll take your money, we'll take your job, whatever it is, we're gonna take it. Okay, that's the game that they're playing over there, and it's never ending. Like once it's not like, oh, okay, just take this one little vax and kind of sneak away. No, no, no. Boom, you're there, and it's not one vax. It's up to 3 now, and it's not going to stop, and has nothing to do with controlling communicable disease. I don't know what it's actually for, but it's not something that's necessary to protect us from COVID because COVID isn't very deadly, and and I don't even think it does anyway. On top of it, because people are saying, well, yeah, they can still get it, yeah, they can still spread it, but hypothetically, you're not going to get as severe of a dose of it, and we're not even sure of that. That hasn't been established yet either. And even if it is, that's up to us to decide if we want to take that risk. If we're not reducing the transmission or even the incidence, the number of cases or whatever, the hell difference does it make to anybody else if we get a severe form of it? That's up to us to decide, because it's nothing that affects anybody else. So that's pretty much the the road of going in. The road of going out, very different. You're going against the flow, so you're losing things. You're losing your family in some cases because this can get really intense within a family. You lose your job, uh, and other you can't have these services, you can't have this health care, you can't have this, that, or the other thing. But all of that, except for the family, really, nothing legally you can do about that unless they're punishing you in some way. But if they're just, saying stay away from me if you're not vaxxed, not too much you can do about that. But there's lots of things you can do if they're taking your job or if they're refusing you services, business, all of that. There's civil action, criminal action, because they're using threats to extort people and they're inciting hatred. So those are criminal offenses, and you can try to press criminal charges, which is very difficult right now because they've removed our availability of the justice of the peace. I mean, I don't know if it's the same video or not. I'm going to just turn it off because I think it's I don't know. Somebody called me and they cut out the video. Anyways, what I'm trying to build to is that there is an alternative, and the alternative is to fight for your rights and continue to try and use the. Oh, I know what I was talking about is uh, private charges. You can't do it right now because the JP is not available to the public. They're available for the health services if they want to shut down a restaurant or something for not following the ROA rules, but for one individual wanting to file charges against their employer or against whomever's transgressing them criminally, you can't do it now. If the police won't take it, you're pretty well sunk in terms of pursuing criminal prosecution. But you can still sue them for that. And you can create that harm into a debt, and you can start collecting that debt ASAP directly to them. Where's the money? Where's the money? You can hire a collection agency. You can this is something that they've created a bit of an obstacle for, but you can lien their house as well for a debt. They've made it now that you have to, we're trying to challenge that because I don't see that that's legal, but they've made it so that you can't file a lien in person. You have to do it online, and the only persons that they allow to do it online are real estate lawyers because they have some kind of program they're using. But that's not real.